everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We are doing another confusing love connection pick a card reading. Okay, so this is one of my most comprehensive readings on this channel. It does range about 40 minutes. Okay, so just kick back. If you're interested or wondering what all we cover in this reading, just check the description box. I'll put the questions, the bullet points, the outline there rather than just doing an intro. Okay, you guys, so keep in mind, pile one, this is a general reading. Whatever resonates, take it, run with it. Whatever does not resonate, just drop it, leave it behind for the people for whom it does resonate. I do have this exact reading available as a personal reading if you would like for me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your person's connection, where we're just excluding all other energies and I'm getting you more direct answers. This reading is listed in the description box below as confusing connection. It might say confusing love connection, and there are payment plans available. Otherwise, you know, there's a lot of other readings available that are like $25. Just go check them out. All right, you guys. So pile one, you were drawn to the fire quartz. The fire quartz. I'm going to get the overall energies of the connection. And so we have balancing act, and then we also have codependency. And I feel like maybe this connection is in, there may have been a runner-chaser dynamic in this connection prior to this point, but I feel like things are shifting where that's no longer going to be an issue. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to translate into, you know, like the future of this outcome, the you know, reading and stuff like that, or the relationship or the connection. But the instance that's coming up, pile one, is one of you or both, you know, so this was a runner chaser dynamic. And one of the sides, either the runner or the chaser in this connection, is healing, maybe has gone through and maybe healed some attachment wounds or abandonment wounds, so that, you know, either the runner's not running or the chaser's not chasing. It's giving me that kind of an energy. Okay, it feels like things in this connection are stabilizing in that manner, like the codependency part is healing. So in the upright position, balancing act says, you are calm within no matter the fluctuation of outer conditions. Yeah, there are times when things seem a bit topsy-turvy and it feels as if you're juggling 1,000 balls in the air. Perhaps you're unsure of your footing. Now is the moment to evaluate which areas of your life need balance and then restore equilibrium. Choose harmony over discord and great success will be yours. You'll find inner stability when you choose a balanced, focused, and level path. Yeah, that's exactly what I was picking up on. Someone in this connection, and it may have been well, obviously it may have been the person who was doing the chasing, the person who was feeling anxious, you know, when the runner would go running. Okay, I feel like, you know, the reason why this connection, there's this energy shifting, is because the chaser is no longer chasing. But again, you know, it's a general reading, so just take that as it resonates. You know, if somebody in this connection is healing attachment wounds, is what it feels like, whether the runner or the chaser. Yeah, and then this says addictions are affecting your romantic life. So we're going to find out exactly what is going on here. What we're first going to look at, you guys, is we're going to find out where you stand with your person. Pile one's person. Where does pile one stand with you? We got love call. Where does pile one stand with you? Give me two more. Palm tree. Where does pile one stand with you? One more. Where does pile one stand with you? And we got two more. Two want to come out, and that's fine. We'll take it. Okay. Yeah, and I can see why two came out. So You guys, where you stand with your person, as far as your person's concerned, this connection is here to stay, okay? It's not going anywhere in terms of like it's not ending. Here we have healing heart and stabbed in the back coming out together. And we'll find out how this is where you stand with them. We got healing heart. This says healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. Stabbed in the back says heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. And so this feels like, okay, this may be shifting on both sides then, is what it feels like as far as the balancing act goes. It may be shifting on both sides in terms of the runner-chaser dynamic. Because healing heart here, along with stabbed in the back, it looks like your person was the one that, well, I mean, you know, codependency is addiction either way. You know, someone can be addicted to a person, right? It can be limerence, if you haven't heard about that. Addicted to quote unquote love, but it's not really love that you're addicted to, it's attachment. And then the other person, you know, can be addicted to freedom or whatever the other side of that is. But there could also be actual addictions at play here, and what I mean by that is like substance abuse, alcohol, whatever other kind of, you know, addictions that somebody can suffer from, that was causing this person to maybe run away, or causing this person to engage in said addictions, that was causing this person to sabotage or jeopardize this connection, causing this person to cause heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attacks, and stuff like that. Things in this connection overall, pile one, this connection is stabilizing. There's healing, and it feels like it's happening on both ends, intentional or not. But where you stand with your person, number one, they do want to talk to you. This says, because there's another card in this deck that just talks about communication. It doesn't necessarily say that it's love. This says specifically a love call, okay? It says someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. This feels like where you stand with your person. Your person, either they have already expressed this to you, or this is something that they're wanting to talk to you about. Palm tree says stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. Where you stand with your person, they see you as a permanent fixture in their life, okay? They don't want you or this connection to go anywhere, and they are in the process of healing the aspects or the wounding, the pain that was causing them to maybe partake in some kind of an addiction, or just that was causing them to run away, causing them to sabotage the connection, stuff like that. We are gonna, let's see, clarify. We'll use the astrology answers. Love call, what's love call here for? Clarify love call, or tell us more about love call. It's definitely not going to be, yeah, so love call, this is like a genuine communication. We have the Queen of Wands coming up in reverse. Now, of course, this could be talking about, you know, a possible third-party energy. It's not coming through. There we go. Yeah, okay. So the love call is going to be talking about how can we get on the same page? Your person wanting to get on the same page with you. This may also be them wanting to make sure that, you know, and this is going to be for those of you where you identify yourself as the divine feminine and they're like the divine masculine, them wanting to know, like, are you as attracted to me as I am to you? Like, there's a lot of with balancing act, there's this love call, may be something along the lines of just wanting to make sure, do you feel the same way about me that I feel about you? Are you as attracted to me as I am to you? Do you feel this chemistry too? Yeah, and then look, we got the Ace of Cups in the upright position. They want to talk about love, right? But for whatever reason, they really are wanting to talk about making sure that the chemistry is the same, making sure that that both of y'all are equally attracted to each other. For some reason, the masculine energy in this connection might be thinking that they're more attracted. I just heard more attached than the feminine is, and they're just kind of wanting to find out, you know, where, if things are equal, right? If the feelings are equal. I'm not picking up that it's like they know that they're shared. Your person knows that you share, you know, feelings. Like you have feelings and they have feelings, but they want to make sure, like, okay, but are we on the same page here? What's palm tree? Tell us more about palm tree. Yeah, here's the devil in reverse. So they are in the and I can't show it for too long on YouTube, but the devil in the reverse can talk about getting a handle on self-sabotaging, self-limiting tendencies, okay? And yes, it can talk about actual addiction. With the devil in reverse, this is just pointing more towards healing, you know, freeing oneself from toxic relationships and or addiction. And so, you know, and if this person, yeah, it says a toxic relationship. So if there is a third party that may have been active, that may have been acting as a barrier and or an obstacle between you and your person, it looks like they're wanting to talk about that as well. Okay, for those of you where that resonates, is there anything that wants to come out regarding the devil in reverse for palm tree? That's also letting me know where you stand with your person, pile one. They see this connection as withstanding the test of time. This connection is so strong and so deeply rooted in your person's eyes that it's stronger than the addiction itself, okay? It's stronger than the self-sabotaging, you know, tendencies. I hope that makes sense. Is there anything else that wants to come out for the devil? I don't want to, I guess I can hide it. There's the magician in the reverse. Yeah. Why is the magician in reverse here? There may still, yeah, there's still some things that are needing to be worked on. They're in the process of conquering. Yeah, there's the healing. That's what it is. There's so many, what I'm hearing, pile one, that there are a lot of things that your person is wanting to experience with you. There's a lot of things, you know what I mean? A lot of experiences that they're wanting to have with you. A future being one of them together. And, you know, they don't want to get in their own way anymore. Your person is I don't know what they're, I don't know if they're in rehab or if they just had a spiritual awakening or what might be going on, but they are actually in the process of healing whatever has been fueling, you know, avoidant tendencies and or addictions, or just, you know, codependency. Because there's two parties in codependency. You usually have somebody that's the anxious or fearful avoidant, the person that's chasing, right? And then you have somebody else that's running. So they're in the process of healing whatever it was that was causing them to be, you know, a participant in a codependent relationship, whichever side they played. Is there anything you want to add for healing heart stabbed in the back? For where pile one stands with you? And this is something they've had to do alone. Healing. We got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. For those of you where communication is quiet, you haven't heard from this person, that may be what they have been up to. All this healing energy, your person has been, you know, this is something that they've been doing alone. Or at least, you know, not in, what do they call that? Not in part, they haven't been doing this with you. Three of A lot of threes here too. So, I mean, there may have been a third party active. I feel like a lot of you will know if that's the case, though. Three of Pentacles in reverse, please. Hierophant in reverse. Let me clarify that before I... There it is. Okay. And for some of you, yes, because I got the Three of Cups here, and I have all the threes except for the Three of Wands that are coming out. So there may have been a third party issue here. Hierophant in reverse, if they were long-term with that person, if they were married to that person, they may be going through a separation with that person. With the Three of Pentacles in reverse, this is them being alone, going through things alone. Clarifying it further with the Hierophant in the reverse position and the Three of Cups. For those of you where, a third party resonates, they're in the process of separating from that person. And if it's not a third party, then this is also talking about, maybe ignoring the call of the higher self for favor of partying. And so this can just be clarifying more what your person is not participating in anymore, because this is all clarifying a healing heart, where you stand with your person. It feels like where you stand with your person, pile one, they are in the process, like that's been their intention. I don't know. You may have been the inspiration for that, right? This connection with you may have been the inspiration for your person getting their life and their act together. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so, and we're going to find out, like, what their intentions are, to see if they're doing that with the intention of, solidifying something in this connection with you. We'll find out what their intentions with you are. What are your intentions with pile one? There's a new cycle. What are your intentions with pile one? Got sacrifice. I just heard because you're worth it. So there is something and or someone they are sacrificing in favor of this connection. Let's get one more. What are your intentions? All right, this says red flags, lies and secrets, being vigilant. Yeah, so they're sacrificing the part, they are sacrificing the mechanism that is causing your person to be a walking red flag, okay? Because they're wanting a whole fresh new start. And this feels like this goes even above and beyond the connection itself. They're wanting a fresh new start in life in general, and they see, this connection as being a part of that, a beneficiary of that, right? Let's find out new cycle. Yeah, because it says sacrifice for love. So they're wanting to sacrifice, lies and secrets, sacrificing, where it says protect yourself, it's like them being self-centered and self-focused and, just being all about self. Which, people someone that's like that it's coming from a space of, they're in survival mode, right? And so your person's healing whatever it is that has had them in survival mode. All right, let's clarify New cycle. Tell me more about new cycle, please. Your intentions with pile 1. Clarify new cycle, your intentions with pile 1. There's that, yeah. Future with the 3 of Wands. But this also carries an element of something being outside of their control, right? It's like that's their intention. That's what they want. Tell me more. And getting very clear. Their intentions are to get very clear and to make it very clear about what the vision that they see for the future for the 2 of you. Sacrifice. Tell me more about sacrifice. Your intentions with pile 3 in this connection. Emperor. Okay, with the Emperor here, and it says painful decisions. This is given energy, pile 1, where they may have dragged their feet about, because this painful decision, it feels like whatever that decision is, I feel like they've been dragging their feet about it, and it's been keeping this connection in limbo, right? And so let's find out what that painful decision is. But they're choosing. They're gonna choose the most responsible, logical choice. Let's see. They're kind of keeping a little bit mum in it with, justice here for those of you where you do know that your person might be married, that can just talk about them, well, there's a couple of different messages. Okay. All right. So for those of you where there is a third party and they are married to that third party, they're going to work with that person for the purposes of, trying to get divorced. For others of you where you are married to this person, and for whatever reason, I don't know if you're separated or what the deal may be going on. It's like working together to find a choice that benefits both of you guys, right? They're not telling me exactly what it is that they're going to sacrifice. But whatever that thing is, it has been causing conflict within this connection. They're gonna, and I think that's what I just heard, is they're sacrificing everything that has been causing conflict in this connection. They're sacrificing everything that has been getting in the way. So whatever this painful decision, I'm feeling like there's one specific something, right? There may have been multiple things, but there's something specific, though, that they're sacrificing in favor of this connection. With the Emperor here, though, it's like they're taking a very logical approach. They're wanting to do the best for everybody involved. They're no longer in this energy of just looking out for self. Now it's like they're carrying more of an energy of being part of, working together as a team. Whereas they used to be all about self, not trusting maybe anyone else to help them out, not asking for help. When we had the 3 of Pentacles in the reverse with the Hierophant in the reverse, that was also may have been talking about, them not even asking, a higher power or a higher source for help, just because, but it was coming from a space of not trust. There's no trust there. Your person has some trust issues. Definite trust issues. Let's look at bad intentions. I feel like that's what they're sacrificing, though. Whatever it was that was causing them, basically. I keep hearing whatever it was that was causing them to be a walking red flag. Okay, they're sacrificing that. No matter what that is, even if it's more than one thing. Tell me more about bad intentions. Tell me more about bad intentions. Okay. Up until this point, pile one, your person may have just had a very impulsive nature. They may have, you know, they may have done a lot of acting, thinking, and speaking. I'm not really thinking, but acting and speaking without a filter, without thinking things through, just very impulsive, right? And they're on a path of becoming a lot more stable, just energetically, right? Yes, that's going to include, you know, when you energetically become a lot more stable, when you become stable from the inside, emotionally stable, mentally stable, spiritually stable, your 3D reality is going to reflect that stability. And so, for some of you, I am picking up that they are going to sacrifice the red flags in their life. Like, we did have the Three of Cups coming up earlier. There may be, I don't know if they have friends and family that maybe fueled some of their addictions, fueled, you know, their codependent nature. If they were an avoidant, they fueled that part of them, or maybe that's, you know, they would party to escape and stuff like that. They're going to sacrifice those connections. That's for some of you. But in terms of, like, you know, your person is starting to put a lot more energy into becoming a more stable, grounded, and centered individual. Yeah, and all of that is stemming from them healing, right? They're healing core wounds, soul level wounds, okay? And then I just saw the Eight of Swords in the reverse. Oh, no, that was the Ten of Swords. And Ten of Swords? Yeah, they're healing from, like, betrayals, feeling backstabbed. Your person had, and this is, you know, part of, like, bad intentions, sacrificing people in their life that have the capacity or have actually betrayed your person. Shady characters and individuals and stuff like that. All right. And that being part of where, you know, their intentions with you, they're doing that in favor of creating something with you that is more stable, because it's going to be very difficult for them to have something more stable with you if they are constantly surrounding themselves, you know, with people and individuals who up until this point fueled, you know, addictive tendencies with them. All right, let's see. Now we're going to find out what their thoughts and their feelings are about you. I'm going to do one more shuffle and then we'll get to pulling. Yeah, okay. Pile one's person, what are your thoughts and feelings towards pile one? Your thoughts and feelings towards pile one. I don't know what to do or what to say. Please be patient. I wasn't ready or prepared for this kind of love. Your thoughts and feelings towards pile two in this connection. Living single. Yeah, I am feeling like I'm not picking up on energies where you and your person are, like, in no contact. I don't feel like anybody here is blocked, but I'm definitely picking up on energies where it's very quiet between the two of you. Okay, let's get three more. But your person is using, you know, for those of you where it is a separation, okay, well, no, they're using the time apart either way, whether it's a spoken separation or not. They're using it to their advantage. They're using it to heal. Okay, tell me more about your thoughts and feelings about pile one. I thought I could do this, but I just can't. And we'll clarify. Let's get a couple more. What are your thoughts and feelings towards pile 1? Says, I'm not avoiding you, I just need more time. Yeah, okay, so for a lot of you, this connection is quiet, okay? You guys are not communicating, but it's not necessarily no contact, all right? Let's get one more. For some of you, right? Like I said, it's a general reading. The overall energy I'm picking up in is just, it's quiet. And then it says here, we aren't right for each other. And the energies I'm picking up from that message, it's like where they are at right now. It's not about personalities clashing, it's about lifestyles clashing. You know, some of you have someone that is battling a legitimate addiction for some of you. Or they're just not evolved or mature or grown up enough yet. I feel like they're in the process, right? With balancing act here, I feel like things are happening beneath the surface where you can't see pile 1, where your person is clearing away whatever it was that was causing them to avoid this connection, run away from the connection, sabotage the connection and stuff like that. Let's see. I don't know what to do or what to say. Let's clarify these energies here, please, these messages. Tell me more about I don't know what to do or what to say. I got the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Clarify more for I don't know what to do or what to say. I just got a whiff of like a body spray. I don't know if somebody here is like spraying the, you know, if you just got through spraying your room or something. I can't really place it though. It's sweet. It's something sweet. I just smelled something sweet. Body spray came to mind. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Possibly pineapple. Page of Wands. This feels like they're waiting for, they're waiting to talk to you until they have the right thing to say. It's kind of giving me those kinds of an energy. With the Page of Wands being here, that can be communication that's very light, very flirty. Why is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse? With I don't know what to do or what to say. This may be something, okay, for those of you where this resonates, if you know your person, they may not feel comfortable reaching out to you at this point in time, and it may be because they're not alone, okay? This can be true for those of you where your person might be in some kind of a recovery, you know, recovery thing, a retreat or a rehab or something like that. This doesn't feel like, you know, I mean, yeah, it can be, you know, like they have roommates or there's just constantly people around. I also got the message for some of you. They're curious to know whether or not you're still single. There isn't much that they have to say with the Page of Wands here, and there's nothing right now that they are capable of offering. That's a lot of why they're not communicating at this point in time, is because it's like I don't have a lot to say to them. This is what's coming through for them, pile 1. It's like they don't have really anything of meaning to say. I think they're having they have an impression, or the impression, pile 1, that they need. You're going to want to hear something a lot more substantial than just light light flirty texts or light flirty communication. And they may also know that, you know, when they do come to you, you might want them to come to you with some kind of an offer, and they don't have either, right? And for some of them, and this isn't the strongest energy, they might be blocked. This could be blocked communication, restricted access to communication. This is carrying the energy of maybe somebody whose phone's been turned off, or, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe they're incarcerated, or they're just where, you know, I mean, if they are blocked, right? But I mean, I'm picking up for a lot of you, it's not necessarily it. That feels like their access to, you know, communication for some reason is limited and or restricted, okay? Let's see, this says, please be patient. I wasn't ready or prepared for this kind of love. Tell me more about that. Yeah, they're healing. They're in the process of healing. That's what they want you to be patient about. We got the Temperance in reverse. What's going on with Temperance in reverse? This is partly why they ran away too. They're in the process of stabilizing that. And it could have been, you know, your person may have been in a commitment with someone else. Where that's not, where you know that that's not the case. This is just something going on within them very deeply that was affecting their ability to commit, to be a reliable and stable partner, okay? There's the Hierophant in reverse again. You know, this is a very, the energies here are very deep. Whatever was causing your person to, you know, show up in the connection in a way that they were sabotaging it, it's a spiritual issue. They were in survival mode. They were, you know, not that they were cut off from source, but they were definitely, if they were cut off, it was they were cutting themselves off, okay? And somebody can cut themselves off from source for multiple different reasons, but it was like they were running around blind, right? They didn't have an open channel of communication to source or their higher power or the universe or God or whatever. Let's see what living single is. Tell me more about living single. They're thinking that's the best thing for them right now, is to live single, to be alone. I'm picking up for some of you, your person's going through some kind of a 12-step program for, you know, alcoholism, addiction, something like that. And if not, then it's just there's something that your person is going through. It may not be, if it's not addiction, it can be something having to do with their health. It's just your person is not seeing themselves as marriage material. They're not seeing themselves as, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other material at this point in time. They're trying to get their act and their shit together is what I keep hearing. Let's see, I thought I could do this, but I just can't. What is that here for? Tell me more about, I thought I could do this, but I just can't. Tower in the reverse. This is them facing the music when it comes to doing the hard thing, right? With the Four of Swords. This is something that have not been yielding to. You know, when they're saying, I thought I can do this, but I just can't. This feels like them letting the Tower happen. Letting established patterns and structures and ways of being and lifestyles in their life that have not been, you know, built on a steady and sturdy foundation, letting those things fall and crumble the way that they've been needing to. You know, this is, I'm seeing an image of your person, you know, that, you know, like the tower's wanting to fall. And your person is, you know, rather than just letting it happen, they're going around trying to find things to prop up the walls, and they're trying to prop up the walls themselves, and you know what I mean? And so with I thought I could do this, but I just can't, Your person questions their own ability to, their ability to survive things completely breaking down to the bare bones, right? And then because your person knows, you know, if they hit rock bottom, that's what it is. It's like, I thought I could allow myself to just hit rock bottom, right? That way you can build, you know, once you're at rock bottom, that's where you're able, that's like a clean slate and you're able to start rebuilding again, but they're scared shitless of that. Let's see, and then with I'm not avoiding you, I just need more time. This is with the Eight of Cups here, this is them walking away. Specifically in this context with the Eight of Cups here, this is somebody that's leaving everything behind that was not emotionally fulfilling in their, you know, going up the mountain, which for a lot of people, they can see that that's a precursor to the Hermit energy, right? So this person's leaving everything that's not emotionally stabilizing, nourishing, advantageous, you know, in search of higher things. Let's find out more though. Yeah, they're trying to become a more stable person in general with the King of Pentacles here. They said they're not avoiding you, they're just needing more time. They're separating themselves from you with the intention of becoming more grounded, more centered, more stable, more reliable, because they have not been any of those things up until this point. And then we got Lovers at the back of the deck here. They need more time, you know, to heal the part of themselves that has been getting in the way of this, what they feel is, you know, a soulmate connection. Let's see, tell me more about we aren't right for each other. The Nine of Wands in the upright position. There's the Queen of Wands. What's the basis for this energy? They're not wanting you to give up on them. Yeah, with the brakes in this connection have been it's been like the brakes are on the connection. Everything is stopped. All progress is stopped. I don't know if you stopped talking to this person. Yeah, no, there's been no progress towards a future together at all. With the Nine of Wands here and being clarified by the Queen of Wands, this feels like them asking you not to give up on them and not to give up on this connection. Sorry if you hear my son cussing in the background, gaming. He's always home, you know, most of the time. Yeah, and then we got the Hanged Man. Yeah, it's like you guys aren't together. You guys may not be together, but you guys are also not speaking. And it feels like, what I'm hearing is your person saying we're not right for each other at this time, but it feels like it's on their side. And we've already talked about why earlier, but for those of you that may have forgotten, because it was a while back, they don't feel like they're right for you because of their lifestyle, right? Something about the way they're living life and doing life just has been sabotaging things in this connection. So now we found out like what their intentions are, what they want to happen, versus now we're going to look at what their next action is more than likely to be, okay? Tell me about more. Time off, okay? But we also have Angel, yeah. So, I mean, and then going back to that Three of Wands that I saw earlier, it's like, for the foreseeable future, your person is yielding to that Tower moment, and your person doesn't have any idea how long it's going to take for them to heal to the point of where they are grounded and centered, you know, and out of survival mode. Tell me more about what actions you're going to take. They're being divinely guided at this time, though, okay? So that Eight of Cups energy that we saw, and, you know, I was telling you how it's going up, they're going up the mountain, and it's like a precursor to Hermit energy. They're being guided to do that. Divinely guided. Let's get one more. And there's the feminine again. Let's clarify. All right, time off is taking time to relax, taking care of yourself first, doing things that make you happy, enjoying life more. And I just now heard that your person is really starting to figure out who they truly are, what they really like. You know, if this is carrying energies, while one of your person really undergoing some kind of a, you know, a spiritual transformation, or just a transformation, just period, right? Let's see. Angel says divinely guided, asking for help from your angels. You are protected, paying attention to signs and dreams. And then woman says female friend enters your life, a female romantic interest. A woman will assist you. A woman plays a key role, and we'll clarify all these energies. Let's see. Tell me more about time off. Yeah. With the Three of Cups in the reverse, I mean, they're not really talking to a lot of people right now. They're not even really talking to, they're not partying with the Three of Cups here. They're not reconciling with anybody. And this could be specifically talking about, too, you know, you as well. Yeah, they're trying to get very clear about things. They're not, so they're by themselves, okay? This is with the Three of Cups here in the reverse, along with the Seven of Cups in reverse. They're not exercising options. They're not out, you know, just sowing wild oats or just dating a lot of people or anything like that. It's like they're not giving you attention, but they're not giving anybody else attention either. All of that attention is going on themselves, okay? Your person is in a very self-reflective, a deeply self-reflective mode right now. You know, so their actions feels like they're gonna stay in this realm of self-reflection and healing for the time being and for the foreseeable future, because they don't know how long it's going to take for them for this process to, you know, to complete. Tell me more about Angel. We got the Five of, okay, we got the Five of Swords here, and then the Judgment in the reverse. There are some really, and the energy is just there overall. I'm picking up on an overall energy, and this energy could be translating into their life as, you know, actual connections with people, or this could be your person may have some anger issues that they're tending to, that they're really working hard and even seeking help. And this may be new for your person, because the Hierophant in reverse, that energy has been popping up a few times in this reading. But their next action towards you in this connection is basically to, it feels internal, right? We'll find out what woman here is, because this is talking about what's happening, their actions behind the scenes, things that you're not aware of, you're not seeing, but it doesn't mean that things are not happening and unfolding in favor of this connection, right? And so it looks like they're seeking help with putting an end to like anger problems and issues with them and or with people in their life where, you know, with the Five of Swords, that energy is very cutthroat. This is very mean-spirited energy. And this could be your person. These could be tendencies that your person has. This could be their outlook on life. This, you know, and it could also be, you know, they may have connections like this where they're trying to, with the Judgment in the reverse, that can talk about letting, you know, letting something that has long been dead, like no longer trying to resurrect something, right? this is giving me energies that your person may have, for the most part, conquered this part of themselves. And they're asking for help to let that stay dead. And what I mean by that is the Five of Swords energy that is at work within themselves and also in their life. And with the Five of Swords, swords is air energy, that's mental energy. They may have some really crappy outlooks on life, you know? And so they're the actions that they're taking, they're trying to figure out and asking for help to get rid of maybe some really pessimistic or mean-spirited thoughts that may have been getting in the way. Like your person may have some really pessimistic, mean-spirited thoughts when it comes to commitment altogether. They may take the position, or up until this point have taken the position, pile one, where you know, they may have thought that commitments and or marriage is trash, right? They may have had some views that were just, you know, very outdated, or, you know, things of that nature. And so they're seeking help. And a lot of it feels like they're seeking help from the universe, from angels, from God, from source, from the universe, whatever, to help get rid of that kind of thinking, that mindset, that outlook on life. Let's find out what woman here is. Tell me more about woman. Okay, this does feel like you. This is in reference to you. Their next action is, like, we have the Hanged Man here, okay? We have time off, Hanged Man, Three of Cups. I mean, there is no action, if I'm just being honest. With the Three of Cups in the reverse here, that's not reconciling, okay? For the foreseeable future. You know, and the reason why, let's see, we got the Nine of Cups in reverse here. They're holding off on, you know, it's like holding off on emotional fulfillment. Your person does get, like, it with the Nine of Cups in the upright position, this is someone seeing you as emotional fulfillment. This is somebody seeing you as a, you know, as a wish fulfilled, right? But they are holding themselves back from that because there's a process here they're undergoing that has to be undergone if they are going to be able to be a partner in this connection with you in a way that they are nourishing this connection, they are showing up, you know, in this connection consistently. You know, up until this point, they haven't had the ability to do that. They've been in survival mode. Okay. And so their next action towards you, pile one, it's not any action. It's not any action in the 3D as of yet, right? There's things going on behind the scenes and in the background beneath the surface that have to be handled and managed first. We got a couple more questions. We see the most likeliest of outcomes. What's the most likeliest of outcomes for this connection between pile one and their person? What's the most likeliest of outcomes here? Lightning, but that also wanted to come out kind of in, this is Tower energy again. This is sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. Let's get a couple more. There's Paradise. Hold on. What is that? Love call. Okay. You are going to hear from this person again. And you are going to be very surprised at what the outcome is going to be. Here we have Paradise. This is happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So, you know, and then we have love at the bottom of the deck. Come on. Unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. You are going to hear from this person again, okay? As far as timing goes, though, it's just, you know, it really is dependent upon your person and the completion of this process that they're undergoing. That was very direct, so I'm not even gonna I do want to clarify though. What's lightning here? I will clarify that. Hold on. Did I just? Yeah. Okay, we're good. Tell me more about lightning. I'm just hearing you're going to experience this person do a 180 in ways where it's going to shock you in a good way, okay? If you've known this person to be flighty, flaky, if you've known this person to be very avoidant, breaking promises all the time, not being very good at communicating, being very cold and distant and detached, just like imagine the 180 of that, the exact opposite of that. You're going to be shocked, okay? In a good way. Yeah, and then strength in reverse. There's no more holding back. There's almost, I think what's going to shock you is the fact that it's going to be like a night and day. It's not going to be something that happens little by little by little, right? It's like you're going to hear from this person and it's just like, whoa, now they're holding hands and they're hugging and they're being really romantic and they're telling me all these really great sweet things, and you know, it's going to be shocking because it's going to feel like everything that you've always wanted with this person. Let's see. We're going to get direct messages from them to you. And then we're going to wrap up your reading, pile 1. While I'm getting these messages out, if this is resonated, if it's if it's filling in the gaps, you know, whatever that needs to be, if this is providing any kind of guidance or closure for those of you that may have wanted it, added to your value of your quality of life in any way, please do me a favor. Make sure you're taking a moment and smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how it resonated. You can become part of the family by hitting that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. All right, so we already have I don't want to let you go, and also I'm not over you, okay? Those are their messages to you, pile 1. I don't want to let you go and I'm not over you. We have I'm in a committed relationship, and this feels like with themselves, right? This says I replay our conversations over and over. They're taking this time out. They're learning to be their own best. See, I feel like your person, and this can be true for a lot of people that are in survival mode, they're not, you know, they're their own worst enemy. You know, they abandon themselves, and so they're learning how to be their own best friend right now, how to be their own best lover. I hope that makes sense. It says just being near you is intoxicating. And also what I am picking up for those of you where this resonates, this committed relationship is a commitment they've made to some kind of a 12-step program, or a commitment they've made to like God or to source or something like that. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't feel romantic, okay? It doesn't feel like they're in a committed relationship like romantically. This feels like they're in a commitment in terms of like what I just told you before. That is taking up, you know, their time. Look, and then it says I do love you. Okay. Yeah, they're focusing on themselves right now, but not in a way that like is self-sabotaging, you know. They're really using this time and utilizing this time to heal core soul level wounds, attachments, abandonment wounds, things of that nature. Let's get 3 more cards here. Just 3 of these, pile 1, and we're good to go. That'll be your reading. Let's see. Messages for pile 1, please. There's resurrection. It says, what you thought to be lost forever will come back, and you'll witness the impossible made possible. I'm hearing pile 1. You may feel like a lot of this is unlikely, like not possible, like, you know, like a pipe dream. But I heard a couple of times, like, you know, to expect miracles. And actually I heard that phrase earlier when that black lightning card came out right there. Like, you know, the outcome of this connection and what your person is telling you is to expect miracles in your eyes. Like, things are going to shift in this connection in ways that you've always wanted but may think that are like not likely or even impossible. It's like, well, expect miracles and expect the impossible being made possible, right? The other end of that is paradise. Let's get a couple more. Grieving. They're stuck in grief, unable to see that they still have the power to create a positive change. This is what they're working on. Okay, let's get one more. That's that pain that most people have until they heal it, right? This is why a lot of people get stuck in survival mode, is because they have this grief and this pain, and it's, you know, it can start in childhood, and because we're not taught how to process things efficiently and correctly, we just stuff it down, but it never goes away, right? And then as we go throughout life, we pile on more grief, more disappointment, more, you know, whatever the case may be, and then that pain, it grows and grows and grows until finally it gets so dense and so potent that we become bombarded with things happening in the 3D realm that constantly trigger that grief. And if you don't know about, you know, how our feelings and our emotions manifest, or they're what create our 3D reality, definitely look into it, you guys. There's a video of mine that's linked in the description box below. It's on one of my other channels called Releasing the Wants. Check that video out, okay? It's gonna give you kind of an idea of the process that your person is in, what they're in the process of doing, directly or indirectly, right? But they're clearing away a lot of stuck, frozen energies. Fears, sadness, pain, things like that. Your person did hit rock bottom, pile one, and they were in this energy where they felt stuck, like they couldn't see. I mean, they may have even, you know, trigger warning, they may have even at some point in time felt suicidal or had some kind of, you know, suicidal ideation that they have sought help for. At the very least, they sought help in the form, well, some of them did seek help in the form of some kind of an institution, okay? Maybe they got therapy, maybe they went and checked themselves into somewhere. For those of you, they may have gone to some kind of a 12-step program, okay? And there are, some of them are coming online with some form of higher power where they may have not believed in that or agreed with that or something. Let's get one more. One more message to pile one, please. We have fairy tale, yeah. Says they think this kind of love only happens in fairy tale stories because to them you are too perfect to believe it's true. You know, and that could have scared them. But they do see you as the ultimate wish fulfillment. They literally see you as, you know, like it's like you're too good to be true. You know, but not in a way where it's like they think that you're not being genuine. That's not where they're coming from at all. It's coming from a space of like, what is someone like pile one doing, you know, with me? Like, why would someone like pile one want somebody like me? It's that kind of an issue. Or that, yeah, then we got marriage at the back of the deck. They see you as marriage material, someone that inspires them to create a strong foundation for marriage. Back of the deck material, but this is something that they have thought about, they have entertained. This isn't, with this being at the back of the deck, this isn't energies that's the strongest, but it is letting you know that they have thought about it. They may be thinking about it and even entertaining it, but they do see you as marriage material for them. All right, pile one. That was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. See you soon. Hey, pile one, welcome, or pile two, sorry. Pile two, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We're doing another pick a card love reading, and this is my most comprehensive, detailed reading on this channel to date. It's the Confusing Love Connection pick a card reading. So if you want to know all of the questions, all of the things that we cover in this reading, because it is going to be a longer reading, probably about 40 minutes or so, I'll put all the bullet points in the description box rather than doing an intro. You can check that out to see all the questions we're going to be asking regarding your person and the connection with them, okay? Pile 2, just keep in mind this is a general reading, so whatever resonates, take that, run with it. If something does not resonate, just drop it, leave it behind for the people for whom it does. If the overall energy just doesn't align or resonate, then just, maybe reset your energy and see if there's another pile that's calling to you. Otherwise, there just may not be, a reading here in this video, which is fine. I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. I actually have this reading available as a personal reading if you would like that. There are payment plans available. It's called the Confusing Connection personal reading, linked in the description box. And then there are other readings available that are like $25 in the specific person category. Okay, you guys. All right, pile 2, you guys were drawn to the very beautiful rainbow fluorite palm stone. Let's get the overall energies of this connection. We have cleaning house in the reverse, and then we have past life relationship. You have known each other before. We'll see how this comes together. Cleaning house in the reverse. Let me check the book real quick. This says, why do you hold on to things that remind you of the past? Is your home cluttered with objects that bring up unhappy memories? Do you have a tendency to attract broken people who need to be fixed? If you're involved in this type of emotional project, stop right now and quote unquote clean house. Being needed isn't going to get you what you really need. That said, even if you initially resist letting go of excess physical or emotional baggage, you'll feel amazing afterwards. Let go and let the universe bring you something better. Make space. The universe doesn't like a vacuum and will respond to your house cleaning by filling your home with things that best serve you. I'm actually going to clarify some of this energy to see how this is factoring in, because I'm getting a couple of different messages. This could very well be somebody that you share a past life with. Could very well be. And what this also feels like is that there's like a karmic cycle that's at work here, this connection is triggering. Okay. Let's clarify. There it is, Temperance in reverse. Let's clarify past life relationship, the moon. This is already known. You already know you already know the dynamic, like why this connection is the way that it is. You already know why you are experiencing things with this person and why you are having the experiences in this connection that you've been having. You already know. It's for the purposes of healing. But there's something that's going on here that you're having a hard time accepting, that you're having a hard time letting go of, and it could be the connection itself. There may be something tied to letting go of this connection, surrendering this connection that you resist, like you're hanging on to it for dear life. Okay? In terms of like the overall energy of this connection itself. And this could be mutual. Both of you may have a very hard time letting this connection, just letting it be. Yeah, there's the devil at the bottom of the deck. This is why this devil energy is why this temperance energy is in the reverse. This is an attachment. Okay, now I'm not saying that's all this connection is made out of, but because oh gosh, I teach so much on my channel it's just part of who I am. I see connections a few different ways. You have just something, you just have a connection with someone, right? But then that connection can go from a connection to something that's more of a bond. A bond is, mutual. it's a mutual energy, right? Where a connection could go from a bond, but then it can also become an attachment. So you have connections where, yeah, there is an underlying bond there, but then you have attachments that are born out of wounded egos, out of abandonment wounds, out of attachment issues. And, you know, this is what an attachment looks like, right? You're hanging on for dear life. See how my fingers are turning red because I'm cutting off the blood flow? That's what an attachment does to connections. Okay, now it's like, you know, the flow in a connection isn't able to happen because someone is holding on for dear life, right? When you trust the universe enough, when you trust yourself, when you trust God, when you trust source of the universe enough to loosen up that grip so that that person, you know, there's more autonomy in the connection. You know, the bond is still there even if the person, you know, separates. Like, the bond is always energetically there whether the person is in separation physically or not. I hope that makes sense. But that's where I'm getting from this connection. Like, this is a bond, right? It's loose, but it's still there. And this is energetic. You know, this is an attachment. And sometimes there are connections where there's an attachment, and once you heal the attachment, you also understand and realize there never really was a bond there to begin with. Bonds are formed when we've got two people who share similar interests. You know, a bond is someone where you can genuinely be friends with that person outside of any romantic involvement, okay? I'm hoping, I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from with that. I have a personal experience where, you know, I've had an attachment to somebody, and once that attachment was healed, I realized, oh, there's no real bond here. You know, our only connection was that attachment, and once that attachment was healed, I'm like, I don't even like you as a person. Like, you're not somebody that I would even want to be friends with, you know, minus, you know what I mean? It's something like that. But you know, the overall energies of this connection, that's what it feels like. Someone here, and it may be you, pile two. I mean, it can be both, right? There's an attachment at work here that needs to be addressed, that needs to be let go of, that needs to be released. And there's a fear that if I let that attachment go, if I release my grip, that I'm going to lose this connection altogether. And, you know, part of healing the attachment is allowing yourself to face that fear of, you know, well, whatever is forming that attachment or whatever the ego is telling you is going to happen if you let that go. I hope that makes sense, okay? What we're going to do now first, you guys, is we're going to find out where you stand with your person. So now we're going to, that was general energies, but we're going to delve deeper into your person's and how your person is, their energy is contributing to this connection, okay? Let's see, pile two. Pile two's person. Where does pile two currently stand with you? The runner. They're the runner, okay? So you're the one that's holding on for dear life to this connection. You know, in codependent relationships or just in attachments, usually there is a runner and a chaser. And I don't know if you've noticed, Paul, too, when you are in those kind of dynamics, like, have you noticed when you let go and you stop expecting, you know, when you stop worrying and stuff like that, when you've made the decision to give up and move on is when your person comes back. That's because you went from here, right, to here. And when we're in this energy, I don't know if you guys think about manifestation and how connections play into that, but when you're clinging on to something for dear life, that's going to act as a repellent. This includes romantic connections, love connections. Anytime you're clinging on to something for dear life, you're doing that out of fear. And if you're, you know, doing something out of fear, you're going to continue to manifest circumstances and events and experiences that keep you in that state of fear. So when you face the heart, when you do the hard thing and you face your fear and you decide, okay, I don't want to lose this person, but I'm also not wanting to, you know, feel like this anymore, and you loosen that grip, that's when what you've wanted comes in all along. It's detaching, right? Loosening that grip, detaching. All right, so let's go, move on. Where does pile two stand with you? Pile two's person. Soulmates. See, there's a sense of, they feel a very deep sense of familiarity with you too, okay? So yeah, the two of you may legitimately have had, you know, I'm hearing multiple, you guys have had multiple past lives together. Let's see. You know, and not to, I'm hearing not to let that belief or that truth or that concept keep you or fuel this attachment energy, okay? Some of you, like, your fear may be telling you that that's the reason why you have to hold on so much, is because this person is a past life soulmate. That may very well be why what they're here to teach you in this lifetime is how to loosely bond and connect, right? Rather than this, like, they're here to teach you how to dissolve or, you know, be done with the attachment part of it. Let's get one more. Where does pile 2 stand with you? Pile 2's person. We got 4 total. We got healing heart and axe. Axe, and then, yeah, so I'm going to have to clarify and see where that's coming from. We got axe here. It says breakup, separate. Okay. Breakup, separation, stop the pattern. Okay. Stop the pattern here. Silent treatment and abandonment. And then we also have healing heart, though. We'll find out what that's in. Yeah, there's separation. So you guys are in separation right now. Separation at the bottom, the back of the deck. All right, we're gonna start clarifying. I want to start here though with axe and healing heart. Tell me more about healing heart. I'm hearing, you guys, where you stand with your person. Nothing in this connection is going to shift until this happens. Hold on though, because this is healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship. I'm hearing freedom from toxic relationship patterns. This separation is needed. Your person, pile 2, this is a very direct message. Your person's not going to come back until you go through this. They're going to stay gone. The whole purpose of them not being with you right now is so that, you know, like, the separation is triggering things within you. That, and these things within you exist. God, I get so, geez, how am I going to put this? That's why some of these readings can be so long, because they're like teachings in these readings. A lot of people think that they feel abandoned because, you know, there's someone in there, you know, for instance, you may be feeling like, let's say your person ghosted you, right? And that has you feeling a certain type of way. People have it flipped around, their understanding of the way things are created and manifested, because we create our own experiences here, right? For more info on that, just check the description box below. I have another channel called Your Wish Fulfilled, and it's based loosely off of, like, the law of assumption and the law of attraction. The law of assumption talks about how, you know, whatever it is that we're feeling, that is what's manifesting our 3D experience 24/7. Okay, our dominant thoughts, which are largely subconscious, our dominant thoughts and our dominant feelings, which are emotional reactions, is what's manifesting our, you know, 3D reality 24/7. And people have it flipped. They think that you know, we feel abandoned because somebody stopped calling us. It's actually the other way around. We've been having feelings, which are thought patterns and emotional charges attached. We've been feeling abandoned. It may have been subconscious, right? It may have been a feeling that we've stuffed down or numbed out or tried to ignore or avoid. But even though we are trying to avoid that, and maybe even being able to do so because it's, you know, it's gone into a subconscious awareness, it's still manifesting. Right? And so the reason why your person ghosted you, pile 2, isn't, you know, your person ghosted you because you are manifesting from that space of feeling abandoned. And because you feel abandoned, that's all you're going to manifest are experiences of that are going to continue to add on to that feeling of abandonment. Okay, that's just a very quick Cliff's Notes version of like the law of assumption and feeling is a secret and stuff like that. The whole point of your person, you and your person's gonna stay separated because that separation is triggering thought patterns and dominant, you know, energetic emotional signatures within you that have been with you probably since you were a child, right? And so for your person to return and for them to stop running, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to go through this process, healing the heart, healing your heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. You know, you're going to have to be in this space where you're comfortable with people running away. And the reason why we feel the urge to chase is because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't get away. You don't feel stable enough in yourself and in your own energy to hold the fort down for yourself. Okay, I don't want to get too much into this, but if you will check the description box below, there is a video called Releasing the Wants. It goes through all of that, right? There's something that you're getting from your person, or I should say your ego, your wounded child, abandonment wound, attachment issues, it's like filling a void, right? And if you learn how to fill that void yourself, you no longer will feel the need to chase. Your person will just, and the thing that's funny about that, you guys, is when you stop chasing someone, they stop running. Right? And that's same for like if you're the runner, if somebody won't chase you, you'll stop running. And so, you know, your person, where you stand with them at this point in time, they're teaching you a lesson right now. It's a soul level lesson, and this may very well be something that the two of you, before you incarnated, agreed upon. For you to heal the part of you, for you to be able to heal the abandonment wound, the attachment issues and stuff like that. And so this person, that's just a caveat and a note to you guys, this person may not come back until you've healed the part of you to a point, you know, the part of you that is feeling anxiety, that feels anxious in your person's absence, that feels heartbroken in the person's absence. And yeah, you know, grief is a real thing, right? That's a natural part of losing something, but a lot of people don't understand is, you know, they get stuck there. Eventually you're able to move on, right? And so yeah, grieve what needs to be grieved, face what needs to be faced. You know, when you feel yourself stabilize and you're comfortable in your person's absence, you know, you're no longer chasing, right? And that's the message here, is that's when they're going to come back. Okay. For where you stand with them. Okay. Now what we're going to do is get their thoughts and feelings towards you. Thoughts and feelings. What are your thoughts and feelings towards pile 2? See, they are afraid of losing you. What are your thoughts and feelings towards pile 2, please? What are your thoughts and feelings towards pile 2? They're quiet. What are your thoughts and feelings towards pile 2, please? So quiet. Okay. I'm afraid it won't work out. So yeah, there's a lot of things that your person is also dealing with, like fears and anxieties and doubts and stuff like that. Let's get a few more. I thought I could do this, but I just can't. Heavy in the runner energy. Let's get 3 more. Your thoughts and feelings towards pile 2. Done with third parties. Okay. That's good news for those of you where that resonates. If you know your person was somebody that was dealing with a specific third party, just like one third party, they're done with that person. Or if this was someone that just, you know, liked to keep things casual across the board, they're done with that, right? Done with third parties just overall in general. Let's get 2 more. Your thoughts and feelings towards pile 2 in the connection, please. Please be patient. I wasn't ready or prepared for this love. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, their fears and their anxieties are coming from a different space. Like, you know, if you're not familiar with anxious, like with attachment systems or attachment styles, you know, insecure attachment styles, definitely go check them out. Your person is probably you're gonna resonate probably more with either the anxious attachment or maybe like the fearful avoidant. Your person, you're going to maybe see them, they're going to resonate more with maybe being on the avoidance scale, possibly even a dismissive avoidant, okay? Go check it out, though, you know, because they have their own issues and own doubts and stuff, but it's coming from a different space. And then we have, yeah, it'll never work. We're just way too different. And then, but they also say, I'm not over you. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, there's energies here that both of you have a really hard time letting each other go. And your person, yeah, they do run, they will stop communicating, but they never really get too far before they're like, and it really just depends, you chasing them. If you're chasing them and if you're calling them and texting them and messaging them and driving by their house and trying to, you know, anytime you're chasing them, they're going to continue running. But when you withdraw your energy and you pull your energy back and, you know, you don't call, you don't message, you just kind of leave them alone and let them loose to do their thing, you know, all of a sudden that's when they start looking back like, where's pile 2? Right? They never let themselves get too far. It's like if you are silent and you're letting them go, you're letting them run, and that's when they're, you know, they're like, oh shit. All right, go see what pile 2 is up to, right? But this is kind of giving you an energy, giving you some insight into some of the fears that your person has. And this is all based out of self-sabotage, okay? Attachment styles, insecure attachment styles, they're both fueled by abandonment wounds. You know, they're just expressed differently. And so, you know, your person, this is their way of deactivating. You know, that's what avoidants do. When they feel like someone's getting too close to them, and, you know, vulnerability wise, they deactivate, they push the person away, and this can look like them ghosting, not calling back, checking out of the connection, you know, mentally and emotionally. And it can even go as far as them trying, you know, telling themselves things that aren't even true. You know, in some extreme cases, they can even lie to themselves, you know, create a whole, you know, and you know what, I mean, the same thing happens in people that are extremely anxious. You know, I used to be somebody that was on the anxious side, and in my mind, what I would do to keep that attachment alive for me was I created versions of my person that never truly existed, right? And so on the flip side, that's what an avoidant does, the same thing, but on the flip side, they, you know, they create a version of you that may not even exist, to detach, to convince themselves it's never going to work out, you know, we're just way too different, you know, and either they're going to hyperinflate things about you and make them worse than what they are, or they'll just, you know, their brains, the pain, their wounded inner child or wounded ego will even make things up that aren't even true about you. So just keep that in mind, okay? There's the push-pull energy that I'm feeling between you and your person, pile 2, is so thick, and so I can feel it. So this is letting me know that a lot of you are still kind of, you know, in that energy of actively pursuing and chasing your person. And really all you need to do, pile 2, is just start going through the process of unraveling the attachment. That doesn't mean that you're not going to end up with a bond or a connection. That just means the attachment, you know, attachments are toxic, period. You don't want an attachment with someone, you want a bond or a connection, okay? And so just check the description box below for that video called Releasing the Wants. That will help you and teach you how to, you know, start to unravel the energy that is making up the attachment, okay? If there is truly a bond between the two of you, which I feel like there's a lot of past life energy, right? So far, we've come up with a lot of energies that show, yes, this is actually, you know, there could be a bond that's underneath there where the two, like, you know, you guys really do get along. You have a lot in common when you are, you know, on, so to speak. You know, you guys have a lot to talk about, you know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, you can be the best of friends and the best of lovers. And so that energy is real. It's the attachment that is really effing up the system, the connection here on both sides, okay? Both of you are dealing with a very toxic attachment, but it's expressing itself in a different way. I hope that makes sense. Let's see what we're gonna do now is find out what their intentions are. What do they want? What do they want? What are your intentions with pile 2 in the connection? What are your intentions with pile 2 in the connection? What are your intentions with pile 2 in the connection? This is destabilizing though. Going in circles here. It says repeating cycles, not making any progress and not learning lessons. But this came out in a very wonky position, which lets me know this energy is still here, but it's shifting, okay? And really, let me get a couple more. Your intentions with pile 2. Your person, I don't know how long you and your person have been together, pile 2, but believe it or not, they're kind of getting tired of the status quo as well. They're recognizing that there's a pattern here, right? And they're kind of not necessarily getting bored with it, but, you know, there's hypnotized. They're wanting things to shift and move as well, but boundaries, okay? The part of them that still gets triggered, though, is, you know, and this is on both sides, but we're speaking specifically of the energy your person is contributing to this connection. There's a lot of mirroring going on here, okay? A lot of mirroring between the two of you. Both of you guys are dealing with some kind of attachment wound and or an abandonment wound, okay? But you guys are expressing it and dealing with it in different ways in this connection. And so your person is starting to make, they're starting to make progress. I'm not sure how. I don't know what's going on, you know, because the two of you are marrying each other. That energy is going to shift even more. Your person's energy towards you in this connection will shift even more the more centered and grounded and stable in yourself that you get. With hypnotized here, but right next to boundaries, this is captured by love, hard to resist and seduced, undivided attention. Your person is wanting, just like you, to run headlong into falling in love, right? Yielding and surrendering to this connection, but because they're coming off as the runner, as somebody that has an avoidant attachment style, they put a stop to that very fast. Boom, you know, oh, I feel captured by love, I want to be with pile 2, I can see forever with pile 2, boom, puts a stop to it. Nope, can't, nope, you know what I mean? And it's that avoidant attachment, it's that's the trigger that comes out, and it's like, oh no, I can't let pile 2 in, right? That's fear. They're operating from that fear as well, but just in a different way. We're gonna clarify and see. Now, their intentions with you, and this can be subconscious. I don't know. Let me clarify. There's definitely energies here where your person's not over. Your person is not done with this connection. Their intention and what they want is to have another round with you, go have at it again with you, this connection, right? Their intention is not to leave. Their intention is not to bow out, right? They're not, yeah, but with this being clarified by the Nine of Wands in the reverse, they are wanting to put an end to this cycle, okay? Clarify that. And this is something that is, there it is, there's the Ace of Cups. What's boundaries here? Are you guys, pile 2, are you in the process of healing the abandonment wound or the attachment issue? Because a lot of the times, you know, when we're dealing with someone like this and we are because I'm feeling your person's, their energy towards the connection is shifting. Now, I don't know, you know, like what they're doing to have that happen. And a lot of the times their energy can simply be shifting because your energy, you're healing your abandonment wound, and because they're marrying you, it's like, you know what I mean? And so that could very well be it, because this going in circles, that you know, the way that it came out when I was shuffling was letting me know they're wanting something different. They don't necessarily want to repeat the same cycles that you guys have been going through. They also want a change of direction here in favor of a true love connection, true love, an outpouring of love here, right? They want to stop the status quo, the cycle that has been going on. And so, if you know what your person's been doing to heal you guys, yeah, they want to let their guard down against, they've been on the defense against having a real close love connection, just period, right? Avoidants typically have commitment issues. And even when they don't have commitment issues, you know, these are people, I mean, they can have a spoken commitment with somebody, but not be showing up, you know, consistently in the connection itself. So they can say, yeah, you're my, they can even get married, right? But they're checked out. Like when they deactivate, they check out from the connection, meaning they don't respond like they used to. They don't communicate like they used to. They can become cold and detached, you know? So, I mean, even if you're living with this person, you can tell when this person checks out. And it's not anything that you're, you know, I mean, it is. If you're pushing this person and, you know, you are acting from a space of, avoidance, not avoidance, but, you know, an anxious attachment. You're chasing them, you're trying to get them to change and begging them to change and telling them everything they're needing to do, you know, that's, you know, or telling them everything that they're doing that's wrong. That's only going to push them farther away, you know. They're wanting to change that, though. They want to let you in. They want to let their defenses down. What's boundaries here? They still feel a little bit anxious about it, though. Yeah. Tell me more about boundaries. We got the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. They still have trust issues that they need to work through. Trust issues in that, you know, if I yield to this connection, if I yield to pile 2 isn't going to try to take complete control over my life and my autonomy. They may have been, you know, your person may have been a child of like narcissistic parents, where they had somebody that was just had no boundaries, ran all over your person, you know, took complete control in every way, like you know what I mean? And that's kind of what they're afraid is going to happen. That's why they have their hands up, like, yeah, they want to yield to this love connection. They want to yield to what it feels like to be really close and bonded to somebody, but then that fear takes over and boom, you know, the boundaries, the hand is up because of fear. Right? They're keeping you at arm's length because of fear, because they're afraid that, you know, you're gonna sneak in with this kind of behavior that's gonna like trap them, basically. You know, where they're gonna feel trapped energetically. Maybe, you know, like not having the freedom of being able, you know, oh, it's hard to explain. I know you guys are probably understanding what I'm talking about, though, right? It's the classic with, you know, with avoidance. They run because it's like autonomy. You know, it's they feel like claustrophobic in really close, intimate relationships, and so that's what they're running away from. Oh, let's see. What are we looking at now? Let me check my notes, you guys. We're going to find out what their next actions are and when. Their next actions and when. So we found out what they want to do. Now we're going to see what it is they actually do. What are your next actions? What are you going to actually do? What is it more than likely you're going to do here? Unfinished. So this is leaving things unfinished, tying up loose ends, things left unresolved, seeing things through. We'll find out how that's going to go. Sales pace, delays. Okay. Like I said, this feels like you guys are going to stay in separation pile 2 until you heal the part of you, the pain in you that is fueling like an abandonment wound. You know, the part of you that is causing you to feel anxious and worried and doubtful and you know, all of that stuff in your person's absence. Because it doesn't feel like there's going to be a lot of action your person's going to take toward this connection. For the time being, right? Let's see. We got delays is frustrated by slow results. Any pace is a good pace. Patience and perseverance. You can't rush progress. Bridge says another phase of life transition. Needing to find common ground and bridging the gap. Dice says time to take risks, getting out of your comfort zone, leaping into the unknown, and adventure awaits. Let's see, let's clarify. Tell me more about unfinished business. If they've made promises to you, if it's just, this feels like them leaving things unfinished. Like their action towards you is them not taking action, them not fulfilling promises, them not reaching out, them not doing the things that they said they were going to do, and you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Delays is really kind of explanatory. Delays in them, yeah. When it comes to their actions, there's going to be delay on their side. There's going to be delays to them taking action. What's bridge? Tell me more about bridge. Tell me more about dice. Your person is aware that there is a gap between the two of you that is needing to be bridged, and right now the reason why they're not taking action pile 2 is because they see, like, first of all, the way they're seeing it, like it's going to be more than what they can handle with the 10 of Wands here. It's going to be, it's either overwhelming, they feel like it's a burden, you know, things of that nature, and it's something about it is going to be risky. If they take action towards you at this point in time, they risk possibly losing everything. This is their way of thinking. And sometimes avoidance can be that way. They can kind of get stuck in catastrophic thinking, right? Let me find out what the Tower is all about, and then we'll move on to the next question. What's the Tower here? For some reason, pile 2, your person feels like if they were to take action towards you right now, they would risk losing you. And the fact that I just said they feel like they would risk losing everything, and then they clarify with you, they do. And then we had that, their message to you earlier was they're afraid of losing you. Something about what's going on, like they feel like if they were to take action towards you right now, I don't know what's going on in their life, but they feel like they'll risk losing you, okay? And you are everything to them, believe it or not, okay? Let's see. I think we got a couple more questions left. Yeah, we got the most likeliest of outcomes and then direct messages to you. All right, so pile 2's connection with their person. What's the most likeliest of outcomes? We got girl talk. There's definitely a conversation coming in. Let's get a couple more. We got not enough. Yeah, and just keep in mind, I do these readings, this reading, exact reading, about once a month. I do it once a month, and so typically, you'll be able to check in, every month to see where your person is standing. But at least for the time being, the outcome of the most likeliest of outcomes and the energy that it is in right now, and like I've been telling you throughout the whole reading, pile 2, you have an influence over that. You doing healing and you getting yourself to a point where you no longer feel the urge to chase can shift this energy, can shift the outcome of the connection. Okay, and it may very well be that as you shift that energy, as you heal that part of you that felt the urgency and the need to chase them, once you were able to heal the part of you that craves them and feels like you need them, right? You may look at the connection as not being enough, right? You may feel or see that, okay, all that was here, it was just an attachment. Like once you lose the attachment and you stop looking through, at them through rose-colored glasses, if that's what's happening, right? You might start to be like, oh, you're not, you know what I mean? You're not the person that my wounding made you out to be, that limerence made you out to be. Because we have girl talk, it says time with friends, moving on, okay, happily single, living in the moment and having fun. Not enough says frustrated in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, fear/ego issues, okay? That fear/ego issues, that as long as, you don't, a message coming through, and this wasn't really part of the reading, but it is coming through, pile 2, that if you surrender to the separation with your person, surrender completely to it, even give up on it, right? The name of the game here is detachment. Now, people can come to detachment of very, very, various ways, I guess, but, detaching, if your way of doing that is by completely giving up, you still detach, and that can still shift the energy. I've was able to manifest my person back in a few years ago when I was still operating, under an abandonment wound and stuff like that. I completely gave up. This was before I knew I had the ability to manifest them back in. I completely gave up. I allowed myself to entertain the possibility of having to have a future without that person. And the minute I completely gave up, which led to me detaching from them, it led to me from going from here to here, right? It was like a couple of weeks later after that, he ditched the third party and he came back to me, right? But as long as I was here, I was always going to be getting the version of him that ran away. I hope that makes sense. So, but that's just, you know, a message coming through from you guys. You guys can shift that. But once, you know, don't be surprised though, once you really heal that part of you that was attaching in the first place, you may not want them anymore. That's a possible outcome in this connection. With sunglasses here, this is watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. But focusing out, it's what it feels like the most likeliest of outcomes at this point in time is, you know, you moving on and detaching from your person and actually starting to like focus out and beyond your person and the connection, right? Because you're realizing, like, you know, you've allowed yourself to accept that there may not be a future with this person. I hope that makes sense. We're gonna get messages. Let's see what was on the bottom of the deck. Healthy choices is the most likeliest of outcomes here. Making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. So, I mean, right now, the way things are, and I can see that too, you know, part of you detaching, part of you healing the abandonment wound and stuff like that is really, you know, people do work like that. Okay, so this is a caveat to you guys. We do this work, like the healing work, like unraveling the attachment for ourselves, not in hopes of manifesting somebody back in. If you do it that way, you're still trying to manifest from the place of the attachment wound, rather than, you know, allowing the attachment wound to heal. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And again, for those of you that don't know how to do that, just check the description box below. Go check out my video called Releasing the Wands, okay? Now we're going to close your reading out with some messages directly from them to you. While I'm getting these energies out, if this video has helped you out in any way, if it's added to your quality of life, provided you insight you need, closure that you need, whatever it may be, do me a favor, make sure you're taking a moment out to smash the like button. For me, it's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how it's resonated. You can become part of the family by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Okay, so let's see what we got so far. We're going to get 6 of these total. We have I want to start over. These are their messages. Look at that. These are their messages to you, pile 2. Then it says here, I have trouble with intimacy. Yes, they are coming through. Their energy is heavy on the runner here. I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. Then it has, I wonder how you feel. Let's get a couple more. I knew exactly what I was doing. This is, I trusted you. And then I remember, they think back to you in this connection quite a bit. And I don't know how extensive your guys' history is, but they do think about some of the things they've said and done that may have hurt you. Okay, they do. With I knew exactly what I was doing. Your person was aware that they were sabotaging things. They knew, you know, and this is something that they couldn't figure out themselves, and that may be why I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. They started, so their place in your life was to teach you something, but you're also teaching them as well. It's mutual. There's a lot of mirroring energy. They're not the only ones teaching lessons here. You're teaching them lessons as well, because, you know, they have been questioning why they are reacting and sabotaging and doing things in this connection the way that they did. And because they're asking questions like that, you know, whenever we ask a question, our brain goes to seek to find the answers. And this is something else for those of you. Be careful about what you ask yourself. They're called quantum questions, right? If you ask yourself questions like, you know, why am I so stupid, or why are things so hard, your mind is going to go and find evidence to tell you why are you so stupid, or why are things so hard, right? And so just keep that in mind, you guys. You might want to start asking yourself some questions where you'll start to see answers and proof of things that, you know, nourish you and build you up and stuff like that, okay? Just a little thing there. But yeah, so your place in your person's life is also teaching them lessons, and maybe that's why we're seeing that energy shift, or we were seeing that energy shift earlier, because they are asking themselves questions like that. So there is a self-awareness that your person is under. And my voice is wanting to go out. They're not ready to communicate quite yet. I have trouble with intimacy, right? Let's find out. Your person does say that they trust you. I'm going to clarify that, though, to see what that is. And what I want to start over, that's more that cycle, right? It's not necessarily they're wanting to repeat a cycle, but they are wanting to start things over again. But I'm hearing they want to do things right this time. Okay? Your person does not see things between you guys as being over. Okay? They don't. Let's find out. Oh, I heard I trusted you to do the right thing. They trust you. Let's find out what that is. Tell me more about I trusted you for your messages to pile 2. Did you give them some kind of advice, pile 2? Did you tell them that they needed to look at certain things about themselves that may have, like, did you tell them about, yeah, with the devil in the reverse? This is carrying energy of you telling your person something about maybe some of their own self-sabotaging habits, like they need you telling them, like you giving them advice about some patterns that you were witnessing, that you saw, that was getting in the way of them, you know, experiencing a future that they wanted. They took that to heart, okay? They listened to you and they trusted you. They weren't necessarily, I mean, they may have been defensive at first, you know, but they know that you're right and they trust, you know what I mean? It's like they trust that you were coming from a genuine space, like you weren't trying to hurt them when you were telling them things like that. It's giving me the energies of you holding up a mirror to your person and being like, this is, you know what I mean? Like you're showing them how they are responsible, and not at fault, but they're the reason why, you know, things are not going in their life the way that they, you know, would want them to go. What's I remember every detail of that day? The universe isn't letting them forget something. They may be getting signs and synchronicities. What's I remember every detail about that day? This could also talk about a spiritual awakening. You guys, I'm saying there may be a lot of mirroring going on here. Yeah, something happened. This is a message your person's wanting to tell you. They may have, something may have happened where they went through, it's sparked some kind of either a spiritual awakening or at the very least a spiritual awareness, okay? But we got, yeah, where they're needing, now they either heard God or they saw some kind of a blaring neon sign from the universe or whatever it is they believe in that showed them that they need healing, they need balance, but this is energetic and spiritual balance, right, with temperance in reverse. I haven't been calling out any astrological signs throughout this whole thing, but yeah, there's the Hierophant here is Taurus, and then Temperance is Sagittarius. I felt called to do that now. Let's see. Let's clarify I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson real quick, and then we'll move on to the last 3 cards of the reading, and then I will bid you adieu, pile 2. Anything you want to add for I am grateful for the spiritual lesson? Things are becoming very clear for your person. Like I said, they do have some self-awareness now, okay? Things are very clear to them. For those of you where you don't know or you haven't experienced your person being a very spiritually minded person, they're moving in that direction if they're not already there. For a lot of you, again, there's either some kind of a spiritual awareness or even a spiritual awakening that is underway, okay? All right, I'll wait and do that. I'll just pull these cards real quick. Your last 3 message to pile 2, please. Your last 3 messages to pile 2 to close out the reading. We got insatiable. This says they have an insatiable thirst, a thirst that no one else but you can satisfy. They're craving for you more and more. And so that energy of lust and craving is on both ends, but maybe just in different ways, right? We have guarded here. It says they are still very guarded and trapped behind their own emotional defenses. Allow them to fall in love in steps. Yeah, so they are actively right now in the process of healing their attachment and abandonment wound, okay? That's why we're still seeing a lot of delays in communication and delays in action and stuff like that. But it's on both sides. Like, this separation is needed for both of you guys, because they're having to heal things in your absence, just like you're having to heal things in their absence. Let's get one more. But they are having specific cravings for you, if you catch my drift, pile 2. If, you know, you guys have gone there, if you guys have ever been physically, sexually intimate, they're missing that part of the connection. But like we were seeing earlier, they're having the sense that if they bridge the gap, if they communicate now, if they take action towards you now, for some reason they're under the impression that they're going to lose you if they do, okay? For good. They're going to lose you for good. That's the fear that they have, or I don't know why they're under that impression, but they are. Let's get one more. Your message, your last message to pile 2, please. We have healing. Yeah. It says they're at the end of a big healing cycle, coming to peace with their past and bringing back balance in the connection. Now, timing is linear, right? But this is saying whatever this process is, not only is it underway, but they're actually coming to the tail end of it. Now, which is going to cause them to show up in this connection in a very different way, if they do show up in the connection. Because as we saw in the outcome, there is an energy here. But like I said, you have the power to influence and shift that energy if you so choose. I mean, with both of you guys healing the attachment wound, with you healing the attachment wound, you may not see this person as a viable romantic partner. You might just choose to keep them as a friend with girl talk that we saw earlier. You may choose pile 2 to, you know, go from being this person's boyfriend, girlfriend, or significant other or spouse or whatever to just being a really close friend, okay? That's happened to me in my life. It happened organically, but you know, I had somebody that I was head over heels for a long time. And when I healed the attachment wound, you know, we went from being here to being here, but the nature and the connection itself took on a very close friendship, you know. Now, of course, that was like over 20 something years in the making, but that, you know, that's how that went. And, you know, the exact opposite can be true for you guys. You know, you could find out that you heal the attachment wound and it ends up strengthening your romantic sexual bond to them. All right, you guys, that was your reading. I hope that it resonated. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Talk to you soon. Bye, pile 2. Pile 3, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We are doing another pick a card love reading. This reading, you guys, this is one of my most comprehensive readings on the channel to date. It's called the Confusing Love Connection reading, okay? Confusing Love Connection. I ask a lot of questions. Actually, there's about 6 of them. To really delve deep into this connection, to give you some answers that you need, clarity that you need, bridge some gaps in there, gaps of understanding. I won't go over everything in this video about what, you know, I'm going to be asking, but if you're curious to know all of the different things I will be asking, just check the description box below. I'll put the outline and the bullet points there for you instead of doing it in an intro. All right, you guys. So pile 3, you guys were drawn to, let's see, the Smoky Quartz. Just keep in mind that it's a general reading, so, you know, whatever resonates, you can take that, you can run with it. Anything that does not resonate, just simply drop it, leave it behind for the people for whom it does resonate. And if you find that overall the reading itself just isn't hitting, it's not hitting you, it's not aligning, then maybe reset, reground, recenter, see if you feel guided or led to another pile. And then if not, then it may just be that there's nothing in this particular video for you, and that's okay. I have a lot of other pick a card readings. Just go check a playlist called Specific Person Pick a Cards and see where you're guided to. All right, you guys. So I also do have this exact reading available as a personal reading. If you would like for me to tap exclusively into the energy of you and your person's connection, where I'm asking these questions but only tapping into you and your person's energy, check the description box below. This reading is listed there as well. I think it's called Confusing Connection Reading. There are payment plans available. Otherwise, I have a lot of $25 readings in the specific person category that you can book, okay? All right, so we have, you guys were drawn to the Smoky Quartz pile 3. Let's find out what the overall energy is of this connection. So we have Spirit of Place. That's the number 4 there, which may be significant. We also have separation. It says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So you may be experiencing this already. You and your person may be in separation, or this is something that is, coming. But this also feels like, of course, this is a confusing connection, right? Reading. And so if you're not in separation, you can already feel it coming. You can sense it coming. But I'm hearing for a lot of you, you already are in separation. So let's see what Spirit of Place has to say. Sorry. It says, Spirit of Place, authenticity is the essence of power. In the upright position, this says, our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the Spirit of Place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query or your question is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. I'm feeling like there's some very important lessons being learned here when it comes to this connection, and it may be that you're learning these lessons. Both of you are learning some very important lessons in the absence of each other's presences, okay? It says, once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. I'm also picking up energies here, pile 3, where some of you, like separation is kind of the result of you staying in your authenticity, because rightfully so, you're unwilling to not show up as your authentic self. And when we show up as our authentic self, that's us staying true to ourselves, right? So this may be someone that you set a boundary up against, where it's like, you're coming to peace with possibly this separation maybe becoming permanent if this person doesn't show up and give you what you're wanting and what you feel you need in a romantic connection and a love connection, right? Which, bravo for that. A lot of people sometimes will compromise what they want and what they need because, having something, even though it's toxic to them, might be better than having nothing. But you in this connection feel like, you're not sacrificing authenticity just to be in a relationship. So even though you might be experiencing separation with your person, it feels like it's for the best, because you're going to end up getting what you want anyway, whether that is just you staying true to yourself and maybe eventually finding someone else that will show up the way that you want them to, or it may be helping your person, because I am picking up that both of you are learning some important lessons in the absence. And so you staying true to yourself, pile 3, could very well cause your person to finally show up for you in the manner that you want them to. But we're going to break down how their energy, how they're showing up, their thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. All right, pile three's person. Pile three's person. Where does pile three stand with you? All right, yeah, they do see you as a soulmate. This says soul connection. They feel a soul connection with you. Okay. This is partnership agreement, soul contract. Let's get a couple more. Where does pile three stand with you? Hammer. This is sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. Let's get one more. Where does pile three stand with you? Did that flip over? We got photograph. Did something else come out? No, I don't think so. All right, we're going to delve deeper into these energies. Okay, that was enough. Photograph says looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. So where you stand with your person is they are missing you in your absence. Okay, they are. Let's break these down. One more shuffle. And we'll get to clarifying. Clarify soulmates, please. What? Tell me more about soulmates for where pile three stands with you. Clarify soulmates. Why is the Ace of Wands in reverse? You make them very happy with the Sun here, but it feels like things are not... There feels like there's something getting in the way, and it may be part of a soul contract or an agreement that the two of you have. You do make them happy. There's a very deep soul level connection and a bond between the two of you where you just naturally kind of fit together. But there's something here, there's an agreement here, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. This could be a soul agreement, something that's keeping this connection from really getting up off the ground. And it probably has something to do with, you know, something that needs to be worked on energetically or internally when it comes to your person, pile three. Let's find out what's going on with Hammer. This feels orchestrated. This separation feels orchestrated at a soul level. And I feel like you already know that, pile three. Because you know that the way things have been going, it has not, like if you were to agree to keep things going, like you would be compromising your authenticity. You're being very true to yourself. And that's kind of part of your soul development, your soul evolution is, you know, learning how to, in the absence of the experience that you're wanting to have, you're learning how to fill your own cup, right? And so you're learning how to be happy and content in whatever is going on or not going on in your 3D reality. Tell me more about Hammer for where you stand with, let's see. Why is the High Priestess in reverse? Ah, okay. Yeah, they were sabotaging. We got the high... They haven't been listening to their higher self. They haven't been listening to their heart. They haven't been listening to their intuitive nudgings. And the reason why that is because we have the Temperance in reverse here. They're needing some balance. They're taking the easy way out for where you stand with them. We'll find out why. Your person isn't necessarily, pile three, letting go of this connection. Even though you guys might be separated and they're not talking to you. They're keeping, I just heard they're keeping tabs on you. I was going to say they're keeping connected to you through ways of like looking at photographs and old text messages and stuff like that. But keeping tabs on you come out. So they are in some way, shape, or form keeping tabs on you. Meaning like they're keeping up to date with what you're up to, what you're doing and stuff like that. That could be through social media. if you have a page or if you're active on any of the platforms, they're watching them, okay? If they have access to, like, you know, your social networks, they check them. For some of you, I just heard they check them daily. This is how they keep up with you, whether you know it or not. Let's see. So far, we got Gemini. Well, Magician is Mercury energy, so that could be Gemini and Virgo energy coming out. We got Gemini, Virgo. We got Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces. We got Wand energy here. That's more fire energy. That's Aries, Leo, Sag, for those of you that are interested in knowing some astrological placements. Yeah, where you stand with your person, pile 3, they see you as a soulmate. You make them happy. And they sabotage it. They sabotage it quite a bit. There's something with your person that goes on where they feel more comfortable living this connection out in their head, you know, living it out in fantasy land. It's like, because in their fantasies and in their dreams, they have control over everything, right? Okay, let's see. What was at the bottom of the deck there? Self-indulgent, yeah. Focused on self, self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. We'll see if anything comes out in terms of your person actually doing some shadow work, but for the most part, what's coming out, like where you stand with your person, they're just kind of in self-sabotage mode, right? What's the next question? Hold on, you guys. I have it written down. Their intentions with you. Okay, we're going to find out what their intentions with you are. What do you want with pile 3? What are your intentions with pile 3 in this connection? Clean up. Give me 2 more. What are your intentions with pile 3 in this connection? What do you want with pile 3 in this connection? Oh, is that? No, that's way too many. Way too many. Let's get to the point. There's a lot of things your person wants, pile 3, with you in this connection, but I'm trying to, like, narrow it down as much as possible. Love Bomber wanted to come out, okay? I think there was like 5 cards that came out, but I put them back. But I did see that Love Bomber was one of them. What I just heard is that their intentions are to not love bomb anymore. And what I mean by that is to be very careful. Your person is in some kind of an energy, and then we got pregnancy at the bottom of the deck. Their intentions are to maybe birth something new, try something new here. But what they don't want to do, and so there is energy here of your person also staying true to their authentic self, but it's coming from a space of being real and honest with not only themselves, but also with you about what they're capable of giving. Okay? And so it feels like, because with cleanup next to Love Bomber, like maybe up until this point you have experienced your person, pile 3, as maybe saying things that you might see as love bombing, promising things. And what's coming through here is that they meant what they said. They may have gotten, a little ahead of themselves. With some of you, they may have even, talked to you about having kids together or something of that nature. There's a lot of genuine, they are sincere in those things, but the energy that's coming through pile 3 is that they got ahead of themselves. Okay, there's a lot, because what they want and what they're actually capable of producing and maintaining are a couple of different things. And so their intentions with you are to not promise things to you that they cannot deliver. Right? So with cleanup, it says cleaning up life, making healthy choices, cutting out the negativity. Love Bomber says emotional manipulation, Casanova ladies man. I'm also hearing here that they don't want you to think that that's what they're doing. They don't want you to think that they're just talking. So that when they tell you things like, they want to marry you, or they want to have a family with you, or things like that, it's not going to become a thing where you're like, yeah, right, I've heard it all before, right? They don't want to do that anymore. It also does say wanting your attention. Okay. And then love and growth says love that grows with time, needs time to grow, unexpected lessons in love. And so there is an energy, they do want things. And then we have love and growth and pregnancy right next to it. They are wanting to birth something new in this connection. This is getting pregnant, building a family, giving birth to something. This could be literal. They may want you to have their baby. They may fantasize about that. Y'all may have talked about it. Something of that nature. This could be literal. If not, it can just talk about giving birth to something, a new dynamic within this connection. You know, their intentions and what they want, pile 3, is they want progress in the connection, more towards, you know, having a family together, getting married, living together, things of that nature. Now, we're talking about what they want. We will get into what they're actually, more than likely, the actions they are going to take. But this is what they want, okay? In other words, like, if they could wave their magic wand, then they'd have a family with you. You know, they'd have all that good stuff. With a love that grows with time, that's them seeing like long term with you. This is, you know, their intentions and what they want are to grow old with you, you know, maybe even merge families here. But with pregnancy here, I do feel for some of you, this is them actually wanting to either get you pregnant or, you know, have your baby or something like that. For those of you where that resonates, okay? Let's find out what their actions are going to actually be. Look at their actions. All right, tell me more about your actions. What actions are you more than likely going to take towards pile 3 in this connection? We got crossroads. Give me 2 more. What are actions are you more than likely to take? This says secrets, but it's coming out in the reverse. So I'm going to take it because I don't have reversals in this deck. And so if something flips out and it flips out in the reverse, it was supposed to. So let's get one more. Ghosting. Ooh. This feels like this separation, like the actions they're going to take is to stay separated from you, at least for the time being, because there's a crossroads here, okay? Secrets in the reverse says moving in silence, hidden factors, lack of communication, not having all the facts, but this is in reverse. So I'm going to have to see, because ghosting says sudden disappearing act, cutting off all communication, feeling rejected, dealing with a lack of closure. Maybe that's what it is. Let's find out. Crossroads is faced with choices, mist of indecision, facing the possibilities of life, and a right of initiation, because these are actions. So tell me what is going on, y'all. What feels like, okay, so I feel like their next action towards you that they're more than likely going to take, pile 3, is to actually communicate with you that they're not ghosting you. Because here we have crossroads with faced with choices, midst of indecision. Your person is facing some kind of a crossroad that may or may not have anything really to do with you, but whatever, but it's going to influence you and influence the connection. And so regardless of what's going on in your connection, because it does feel like some kind of a separation, you know, but next action is to, yeah, they're gonna take some time to figure out which road to go down, but I'm literally sensing and feeling them just kind of sending you like a quick message letting you know, hey, I'm not ghosting you. I know it's been a while since, you know, I've reached out or I've spoken to you, and you know, I'm dealing with something here, right? I'm being faced with some choices here that I'm needing to like really look into. Like they're basically them checking in, right? Them letting you know like we're still not gonna like reconcile or anything like that, but them just checking in with you, letting you know I haven't forgotten about you. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not ghosting you, pile 3. That's what it feels like their next action is going to be. Let's look at Crossroads. Tell me more about Crossroads. Right, with Secrets here, where it's in reverse, it says moving in silence. That being reversed is letting me know they're not going to be moving in silence when it comes to you in this connection. They're going to let you know what's going on. They're going to give you a heads up. They're just going to check in. They don't want to leave you guessing, right? There's the 4 of Wands, but it's in the reverse. The Moon in reverse. Something may be going on with their home life that they're trying to get a grasp of. For those of you where you know your person was living with somebody, or, you know, married and living with somebody or something like that, what they're having to face is possibly moving out, getting divorced. With the Moon in the upright position, this is like the writing is on the wall, right? Let's find out more though with this Crossroad. Faced with choices, midst of indecision. It's not as bad as what you might think, pile 3. With the 4 of Wands coming out in the reverse position, that can also just carry the overall energy of your person just not being happy in life in general, right? And they're trying to figure out, like, and this isn't necessarily tied to you, because earlier you were coming out in like the sun, like they see their connection with you like happy. So there might be things outside of this connection that they're not happy with, that they're trying to figure out how to sort out, how to deal with, how to handle, stuff like that. But with the 9 of Swords in the reverse position, it's like it's not as bad as you think. And for them, they're also like, okay, it's maybe they're making it, this is their own self-awareness and their own thinking, trying to be like, maybe I'm making things worse out than what they seem. It's whatever it is they're dealing with, it's not necessarily keeping them up at night. You know, it's not worrying them or really causing them too much anxiety, but it does feel like there's some choices that they have to make, some things they have to handle. Yeah, with the 4 of Swords in the in the 4 of Swords in the upright position, you know, them staying silent, or this things in this connection between the two of you just remaining very still and quiet at this point in time. Is there anything else about Crossroads? Whatever this Crossroads energy here is, pile 3, this right here is at the core and the root of why you and your person are not on their end, why they're not reaching out, they're not calling, they're not, the reason why they're not putting any energy or effort or resources into this connection. Yeah, they're trying to be led. Like, they already know, they already intrinsically know, intuitively they know what the right choice is to make. That's why they're not too worried about it. They know, you know, at a very heart, gut level, what path is the best path for them to take. But there just feels like maybe there are some things that they have to, you know, they got to dot their I's and cross their T's, or maybe some legal things that they're having to close out. There's just, feels like there are some things that are needing to get restructured, reorganized, arranged, things like that. Okay. The High Priestess can also talk about more quietness, things in this connection still being very still in terms of action. More things happening in the background that you're not aware of. It doesn't mean that action isn't being taken, but it's not going to be action in terms of, like, you know, the two of you reuniting, reconciling. They are taking action, I believe. We'll see. But it does feel like whatever these actions are, it's for the benefit and the favor of the connection. But, you know, we'll see what the most likeliest of outcomes is going to be. We're going to get their thoughts and feelings first, though. Okay, you guys? What are their thoughts and feelings towards you in the connection? I'm feeling on top of the world. Your thoughts and feelings. You see, and that's how they feel when it comes to you. You make them feel like they're on top of the world, because we have that Four of Wands in the reverse position, talking about like them not really experiencing a lot of joy and celebration in their life overall, because you're not in, well, not because you're not in, I'm just saying we know that to be true because you guys are in separation. And so they're dealing with something in their life in general, or just have this overall general energy of them not being happy with where they are at in life, and it feels like they're trying to get some things in order. Let's get a few more. We're going to get 6 of these total. So I don't know what to do or say. Let's get 4 more. Her thoughts and feelings towards pile 3. I'm just having fun here, nothing serious. Let's get 3 more. I know you love me. So they do know that. They don't question your love for them. I don't know if some of you wonder whether or not, you know, this person knows that. They do know that and they trust it. This is, please be patient. I wasn't ready or prepared for this love. This feels more like they weren't ready and prepared for it on a like a physical material level. I'm not necessarily picking up that your person wasn't ready for it, like mentally and emotionally. There just feels like there are things happening in their physical material realm. Yeah, it says I'm ready at the back of the deck. So I mean, mentally and emotionally, your person is ready for something more progressed in this connection, but there's something going on in their physical life, maybe even in their home life, where it's like right person, wrong time is what's coming through, right? We're gonna find out what I don't know what to do or say. Why is that here? Oh, and then it says, am I really your one and only there? Am I really your one and only? Yeah, and that is probably why your person, for those of you where it resonated, and you know your person is checking your socials on the daily. They're trying to see, like, you know, they're trying to make sure that when they do reach out again, if they do, that, you know, they're not going to be rejected because you've moved on. Let's see. I don't know what to do or say. Tell me more about that, please. I just heard they don't want to catch you off guard. Okay. They're not quite ready to reconcile. When it comes to reconciling, they're not quite ready. There's also a feeling here of, you know, like I said, physically, in the material, physical, 3D world. What's the strength in reverse? That's Leo energy for those of you that are, and then we had Pisces energy come out earlier with the High Priestess. What's the strength in reverse here? They're trying to be very logical and head over heart, but Queen of Swords could also be maybe them wanting to make sure they have the right thing to say when they reconcile. I don't know if you, well, yeah, because we were talking about you being authentic, right? You being in the energy of, yeah, that's what it is. And so it's, like I said, and then we had Love Bomber come out, and so your person is wanting to do things right by you. They don't, it's not so much of them not knowing what to do or what to say. It's like they don't have it, right? There's energies here, pile 3. There's some kind of an expectation or a standard or a boundary that you set with your person, and your person knows, you know, it's not in the best interests of this connection to make promises to you that they are not in the position or the capability of keeping at this point in time. And so they're just not in the space to reconcile with you, because whatever boundary you put, whatever expectation you put or standard, they're not able to meet that yet, and so that's why they're not reaching out. Yeah, there may have been something you told them you needed something to happen. We need to go out on more dates. We need to do this. We need to do that. You need to, you know what I mean? And they're not able to do that yet with the Two of Wands in the reverse. It's not so much an energy of them not knowing what to do. It's more of the energy of them not having the ability to do it. Let's find out what I'm just having fun. Nothing serious here. You might have some communication coming in very soon. Like I said, yeah, they are going to probably just send you a quick text or a message or a DM or something, just checking in, letting you know, they hadn't forgot about you. They're not ghosting you or any, stuff like that. I'm just having fun here. Nothing serious. This thing hasn't gone on this entire reading, and it just went off now during your guys' reading. So you guys are probably going to be hearing from your person really very soon. Interesting. Okay. If there are third parties that your person is entertaining at this point in time, your person is just letting you know that it's nothing serious with them at all. It's basically just their way of killing time. Any kind of love offers that are coming their way, they're not accepting it here with the Four of Cups, right? You can literally see somebody refusing a cup there. And then we also have the Ace of Cups in reverse, and then the Death. I mean, people might be shooting their shot with your person, but they don't accept it at all. This can also be a message that if they were to reach out now, that it would have to be something, more superficial, more casual, more surface level, because they don't have the ability, for whatever reason, to give you what it is you told them that you want, or that they, like I said, there's just energies here, pile 3, where you put your foot down about something, and if you didn't actually verbally communicate it, some way your person is picking up on this energy where, you're not gonna accept anything less than what you want, right? And so this can be them understanding that unless they, come correct with what you're wanting, then you're not gonna take them seriously. Am I really your one and only? See, there's messages here. They're wondering whether or not you take them seriously, because they're wondering whether or not you are indulging in third parties. Yeah, see, because they know you're a baddie. With the Queen of Wands here, they know you're a baddie. They know you have options if you want them, right? And so, and it is something that bothers them, thinking that, you might be entertaining other people. But your person is also realizing that, they're not in any space to give you what you want or what you need in a connection at this point in time. What's the next question? I think it's outcome. Their next actions. We already did that. Yeah, the most likeliest of outcomes. Okay. The most likeliest of outcomes. What's the most likeliest of outcomes in this connection between pile 3 and their person? The most likeliest of outcomes. Healing heart. Ooh, twin flames. Oh man. Okay, let's get one more. That has not come out for any of these readings at all. Well, I should say any of this specific, none of the other piles in this reading. We got healing heart, twin flames, lightning, which is like tower energy, and then we have passion here showing up at the bottom of the deck. Healing Heart says healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. So there's definitely going to be some healing here. Now, twin flame energy, if you are not someone that believes or subscribes to an actual twin flame dynamic, this is just, you know, energies of a connection here that's unrivaled, right? The outcome of this connection is going to be an experience that neither one of you have had with anybody else before. It could take you by surprise with lightning here, and it can be fueled by passion, okay? Because all of this stuff is coming after healing has been done. So, like, the most likeliest of outcomes for this connection, believe it or not, pile 3, is something very intense, very passionate. And the reason why healing here is because this kind of energy, without you and your person being grounded and centered and stabilized within yourselves individually, this can wreck people. This tower moment can be for good, and it can be for, you know, the tower can be destructive energies anyway. But if two people are going into a twin flame dynamic and they're going in unhealed, this is going to feel like fucking chaos, right? Fueled by passion. But this passion can go either way. You can be passionately excited about each other, or you can be passionately angry and resentful and bitter about each other, right? Passion isn't just, you know, seduction and sex and intimacy and stuff like that. Passion is an energy. It's a lot of energy fueled into something. But it's good that we have Healing Heart here, you know, sparking this, because and I'll clarify to go deeper. It says insane chemistry, liking each other equally. Yeah, liking each other equally, that's mirroring energy, and definitely twin flame is mirroring energy. This is a very powerful connection. Okay, very powerful. And if we have two people in this connection where, you know, any kind of soul level woundings, or, you know, ego woundings, all that stuff is healed, this could be a very intense. It can be a very overwhelming for people who are not grounded and not centered in themselves, okay? It can be very all-consuming. Let me see, with Healing Heart here being at the root of this, what is this going to look like? The twin flames, lightning, and passion for outcomes. It's just, you know, I'm picking up energies, just be very careful, okay? It is going to be a very powerful energy, but with Knight of Pentacles, let it be a slow burning one. Try not to let it, you know, consume you. Try not to get lost in it. It can be a very, very beautiful, intense, powerful connection. But you have to master that energy and that passion and that fire within yourself, or this is going to completely take you over. And that might be what's going on with the separation over here. It's the two of you learning how to get very grounded in, you know, each other's absence, so that when it does come back together, look at that with the Ace of Pentacles. This is very promising as far as outcomes go. That's what this feels like. Like, this passion in the twin flames, this feels like a flame and a passion and a chemistry that will never go out, right? If it's managed properly, like that yearning and that desire, that intensity, that passion, that fire for each other will never go out. You know, naturally, it's just going to naturally be there. It's not anything where the two of you will have to work at spicing things up. That spice is always going to be there, right? And we need a lot of earth to come in and ground it with the Pentacles energy here. Which I feel like, you know, we're talking about the most likeliest of outcomes. This feels like what's going to happen. You know, you may have had the experience with this person where you experienced this all-consuming fire, but we didn't have the Healing Heart here at the root of it, and so it did just completely, like, out of control, right? And things could have blown up spectacularly. You know, and now it's like, okay, we're back to the drawing board. How, you know, you guys realizing that there is this unmatched chemistry that you have with each other, right? Unmatched, like knowing that this kind of connection, this kind of passion, this kind of love is not going to happen again, right? Understanding that about each other, knowing that you found that in each other, and also realizing if we don't handle this fire like responsibly, it can destroy everything, or it could, you know, because fire can create and destroy. It just depends on the people that are handling it, right? Powerful. This is powerful, you guys. Let's see. Now what we're going to do is get direct messages from them to you. And this is how we're going to close up your reading, pile 3. While I'm getting these energies out, if this is resonating, if it's added to your value or your quality, I should say your quality of life in any way, filled in the gaps, all of that good stuff, please take a moment, if you would, and hit the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know what pile you picked. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family by hitting that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. Look at this. It says, sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. All right, your messages to pile 3, please. They think about you often. And for some of you, I heard all the time. They think about you all the time. That's going to be true for those of you where your person is checking on your socials daily, daily. For some of you, it's like compulsive for your person at this point. They're really afraid that, you know, well, I shouldn't say they're afraid, but they're definitely wanting to make sure that they catch you before you move on. So I've also heard, you guys, that if you are posting things that you're hoping that they see, that are kind of like not really subliminal, but you know what I mean, like you're posting things that you want them to see. It's like they see it, and they do know that that's a message to them. They know that. Okay, so for those of you that wonder, yeah, you wonder if they're, you know, picking up what you're throwing down. Yes, they are. Okay, let's get 2 more. I thought your messages to pile 3. Your person is, they're taking some personal accountability for something. Yeah, then it says, I still feel the pain at the bottom of the deck. They may not have done it before, because we have, it was my fault, but I blamed you. But I feel like they've changed, because here we have, I regret lying to you, and then here it said, I know that I crossed the line with you. This I regret lying to you feels like it's tied to, it doesn't feel like it was an outright lie, because what I'm tying it to is that energy where, like, that love bombing energy was coming out, and them not wanting to do that anymore. Let's see though. Tell me more about I regret lying to you. Tell me more about I regret lying to pile 3. Tell me more about I regret lying to pile 3. Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. And you're going to know about this, but they regret not telling. This almost feels like they were omitting something. They regret not letting you know that there was a third party, but with the 3 of Cups in the reverse, this is energies of them saying that they're not talking to that person anymore. They didn't reconcile with that person. And that can be what they lied to you about. They may have told you that nothing happened. They never reconciled with, you know, an ex or someone else or something like that, but they did. And so they're letting you know that they regret not telling you the truth about that, or the whole truth, or something of that nature. Okay. They regret that they let somebody else get in the way of this connection. That's also a message that's coming through. What's I know I crossed the line with you? That may have been, you know, what you put your foot down or a boundary down about. Possibly. I know I crossed the line with you. Tell me more about that. Ten of Pentacles. Maybe this have been them putting work first, not paying attention to you. This can also be them withholding information from you about a third party, maybe somebody that they were married to at some point, if not still, somebody that they've known for quite a long time, somebody, you know. But with Ten of Pentacles energy, with being clarified by the Page of Swords, this feels something tied to either, yeah. Help me clarify, what is this energy in regards to? This feels about them not being honest about something, not telling you about something. Fire energy coming out again. Yeah, this feels like it's tied with the Hierophant in the reverse to somebody they may have been married to. Had a long-term commitment with, you know, had kids with, had a business with, somebody where a third party where their lives were intertwined. So, yeah, I feel like I regret lying to you with, I know I crossed the line with you. I feel like those are tied. And that may have been something that you put your foot down, or why the two of you aren't talking. And that may be part of what they're in the process of, like, you know, restructuring, reorganizing. They may be, you know, because they may have had ties to an ex or a third party where, you know, their finances were still tied to each other. Maybe they still had, you know, that third party, you know, on a lease or on, you know, assets or on a lien even, or, you know, stuff like that. And so it feels like they're kind of in the background handling that situation. It was my fault, but I blamed you. What's that? They know that they didn't do the right thing, and it can be involving, like, you know, maybe the mother of their kids or a mother figure. Okay, with the Empress here. We got the King of Pentacles in the reverse and then the Ace of Wands in the reverse. There's nothing, for those of you where that resonates, you know, there's something about an ex. They are not starting things over with that person again. They're not. They are choosing to move forward, okay? And regardless of whether or not the two of you choose to work things out and stuff, they're closing the door on that anyway, because it's, you know, they realize it's something that needs to be done regardless. They realize, like, whatever it was they were blaming you for or doing to you, they realized with the Justice in the reverse that they were not treating you right. They were not giving you fair treatment. And it, you know, that could just be part of their programming that they're in the process of rewiring. Okay, they may have been very much in a victim kind of a mindset with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This can talk about somebody not learning karmic lessons, especially when it's attached to the Justice in the reverse. Okay, I hope that makes sense. This is also carrying just energies of, like, their message to you is that they're growing up. They're learning to, you know, to own up to and this doesn't feel like it's only tied to your guys' connection. This just feels like, you know, their life in general. Your person may have been caught up in a victim mentality in their life in general, just seeing things as always happening to them, as opposed to like looking at things and be like, okay, what energy am I providing? You know, what am I doing that might be adding to or even causing these things to happen? Your person's growing up, pile 3, is what I'm hearing. They're, you know, they're learning lessons. They're becoming accountable. Yeah. They're getting out of this victim mentality and this victim mindset. We're going to get 3 more cards, and then we're going to wrap up your reading. We're going to get it from this deck called Messengers of the Heart. Your final 3 messages to pile 3, please. What are your final 3 messages to pile 3? We'll put this up here. Your final 3 messages to pile 3. Old wounds. Their unhealed childhood wounds prevent them from forming meaningful and long-lasting relationships. That's deep. Let's get a couple more. We got stone, but it wanted to come out in the reverse. Actually, it wanted to come out in the neutral position, so this is shifting, okay? What it says in the upright position says they are emotionally unavailable. It is for your highest good to move on and find your happiness again, but it's shifting, okay? So that it's going to end up in where they're not like that anymore. So what these two coming out together, old wounds and then stone in the reverse, your person is healing from those old wounds, okay? Like I said, they're shifting out of that victim mentality, and the reason why they're able to do that is because somehow they're doing some kind of shadow work, okay? And I was questioning that, like, are they really doing shadow work? And the answer to that is yes, they actually are, because they are actively shifting. There it is at the bottom of this deck, shadow work. I was wondering, like, are they really doing shadow work? And here we're getting, you know, at the very end of the reading that yes, they are. They are healing old childhood wounds, which is, you know, helping them to see things differently, see themselves differently, see the world differently, see, you know, just everything differently. So the good news is their message to you is that if they have been emotionally unavailable, which is going to make them, you know, show up inconsistently, if at all, have them behaving in ways within this connection that was not honoring you in the connection. It's like that behavior, those inconsistencies are on their way out. Your person is getting into a space, pile 3, where they're not going to be emotionally unavailable anymore. They're healing wounds to the point of they are going to be emotionally available. Just overall, they're going to be emotionally available for themselves, for, you know, all kinds of connections. Let's get one more. Your last message to pile 3, please. We got 2 more. Oh, no, whoa. There's actually a lot they want to say to you guys. We're going to keep it. Just out a few though, and then at the bottom of the deck we have mixed signals. Now cloudy space, and I'm hearing that they're apologizing for sending you mixed signals. Hold on, let me see what these say, because that's bottom of the deck energy. This is lack of faith and a new perspective. Your person may have had a very pessimistic outview on life, victim mentality, everything, you know, you know what I mean? But they're gaining a new perspective on everything. Their message to you is that things for them are changing from the inside out. Okay, they're going through some kind of an awakening or something that's causing them to see things, to see life, to see others in a whole completely different way. And they're sorry for some of the times that you feel like they've been, that they've been sending you mixed signals, hot and cold, they're sorry for the ways that they showed up that caused you to question, you know, your place or your significance in their life. All right, pile 3. That was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Talk to you soon, pile 3. Bye.